Valentine's Day.
She's excited.
I am. I've got my little tassels.
You feeling fancy?
Yes, we have a cute bottle of champagne too, thanks to our friend Becca. Yes, I didn't say any of that into the microphone, so you probably couldn't hear me, but...
That's okay. So, Valentine's Day. Do you ever do anything for Valentine's Day?
No, and I try and not make it too, like, coupley, like, but I do try and do, like, something with my partner, yes.
Yeah, because it's holiday.
Yeah, but if I didn't have a partner, you can bet your fucking ass I would be spending it with myself and treating me the best possible way that I could possibly treat me.
Just like you should any day and every day.
Yeah. It's a great little intro to our episode.
Yeah, because this is our lovely episode, Marry Yourself.
Marry yourself. Kyla, what does it mean to marry oneself?
So, marrying oneself is to be the person who you would want to marry. So for me personally, oh gosh, there's so many things, but some of the big things for me is laughter, comfortability, comfort all the way up there, trust, understanding, engagement, excitement, and passions. So many things, but those are some things that are so important to me that I look for, characteristics that I look for someone else when I have them myself. So when I'm able to do that and live that myself, that's when whomever else wants to come and say, hi, this is who I am.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's cute.
thank you.
I love that.
Who would you want to marry?
So I think probably a few of the same things that you mentioned, like, you know, I would love to make sure that I'm spending the rest of my life with someone who shares the same sense of humor that I do, because I love to laugh and I love to bring a lot of playfulness into like everyday life. And I would want it to be someone who, you know, I trust, who I trust knows me and sees me for who I am and what I am. And I think the biggest thing that I would need before committing to marrying someone is to know without a shadow of a doubt that they see me for the divine, magnificent, abundant human being that I am. And they also know what a divine, magnificent human being they are. So no, I couldn't commit my life to someone who didn't see me for who I truly am and didn't see themselves for who they truly are.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you do that for yourself? Are you that for yourself?
And it's amazing, Kyla. I'm still learning that for myself. So there's so many things that I see like, oh, you know, I would really need that in my partner. I would really value having that in my partner. And I can see immediately it's not something I'm like living my life by, and it's something I'm working on. So
Which is so beautiful.
one of the intentions I set for myself this year was to be twice the partner that I expect. To be twice the partner I expect, you know, in any relationship that I have. But it's really helping me see, one, what are my expectations, and then two, like living up to those expectations. Yes.
I think that's important. It's very important.
Yes. But what would you say having a relationship with you looks like?
It looks like genuinely sitting with yourself. I don't know if you hear the neighbor.
I don't think they hear it, because
No.
I've heard sometimes
where
we pause and we say, hey, can you guys hear that? And I really can't hear it.
I don't know, but someone's like running.
Someone is running up and down.
But
the
it's fine.
stairs.
Okay, so what having a relationship with yourself looks like genuinely sitting with yourself and listening, having the conversations and listening to that person, making the conscious decisions of choosing what makes that human happy. Meow.
Oh, so like what is making you happy?
Yeah, what makes you happy.
Right. And how you would want to be treated in a relationship. You just start treating yourself that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is. And it's like, ooh, that's interesting. How does that work?
Well, it brings up a whole conversation that I don't think many of us ask ourselves, but it's like, if I was the person that I wanted to marry, what would that look like?
Yes.
And I describe it like the metaphor of marrying yourself. We were speaking with one of our friends, and she had gone through kind of a brutal shift in relationship this year. And so she knew that a big part of that is that she never put herself first, and she really needed to prioritize marrying herself. And she used those words because you guys had talked about that. And so I was like, so girl, have you like popped the question to yourself yet? Kind of like teasing her. And she was like, no. She's like, we're like DMing right now at best. Like, we just matched on Tinder. That's like about the extent
Which I love
of our
that's
relationship.
how she expressed it.
I know. And I'm just like, you really can compare it to the metaphor of marrying someone.
Yeah.
And imagine yourself, like, you know, who you truly are, the divine expression of you, if you will. That person wants to be in a relationship with you. They matched with you a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been waiting for you to kind of just be like, oh, I guess you're good enough for me. They don't take it personally either.
No.
But you can gauge, you know, am I chatting with myself? Are we DMing? Have we gone on our first date yet?
I have that deep cry or that conversation that's like, oh, wow, this person is so beautiful.
Have you had an intimate moment together where you've actually like held yourself?
Have you had
where
sex
you've been
together?
Yeah, where you've been vulnerable with yourself, or if you've done the dirty, which is totally a thing.
Of course it is.
And I think we could do a whole episode on fucking yourself.
We'll get that later in relationships.
But damn, is it a beautiful thing? Is it a beautiful goddamn thing? And then finally, when you've gotten to such a point of love and intimacy and understanding and deep-rooted passion with yourself, you know, have you gotten ready to spend the rest of your life with you? Have you gotten ready to commit to you?
Because you're the only person that will be with you until the day you die.
You really are.
So why not love that person? Maybe not love that person, but like that person? Whatever you want to do. But they're there.
I mean, do you want to start liking you? Because they are there.
They're going to exist.
Yeah, for a long time.
While you exist, whatever the existence looks like.
It's the most important relationship you will ever have in your life. So...
Meow.
So why don't you share with us, Kyla, what does your marriage to yourself look like? Because, and I mean, just to give some context, I would not consider myself married to myself, but I am in a pretty serious relationship with myself.
I love so much.
We just haven't married yet,
That's
but we'll
okay.
get there so soon.
That's okay.
We're really serious.
Oh, that's so cute.
But yes, how is your marriage with yourself?
So yes, I am married to myself. When someone asks me if I'm in a relationship, I'm like, yeah, I'm married to myself. They're like, oh, okay, interesting. Tell me more. I am utterly honored to be married to this beautiful human, and I am not cocky nor better than the person next to me. I am genuinely in love with her and who she is today and who she is always becoming. And like the person sitting next to me, they are their most divine, beautiful presence.
Exactly.
It's just based on whatever stage in the relationship you are in. And that beauty in every stage is beautiful.
And I don't think you need to specify and say that, you know, you're not trying to be cocky, because if you felt that way about your best friend, if you felt that way about your partner, would you need to say, oh,
No.
I'm not trying to say that my partner's better than you just because I love them so much. No.
But I mean, typically.
Well, and I understand why you say it, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying I celebrate that in you 100%.
Well, thank you. I celebrate it too. But I do it for the outside perspective because I don't want other people to think that I'm better than them, because I'm not. I'm just at the place where I fucking love myself because she's the shit. And guess what? You can be the shit too, but you have to see that for yourself.
Right.
I can't do anything to change that, but I will gladly be the representation of, hey, you can do it.
Right. I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, I think Aubrey Marcus says this a lot, but he says, the divine in me sees the divine in you. Yes. And the closer you get to, connecting with that divine, it's easier to, see the limitless love that you can have for other people too. So it's beautiful. And it's just a great relationship to get in.
It 100% is.
So what would it feel like, or what are some of the benefits of being in a relationship with yourself?
Becoming and feeling comfortable and even more confident with yourself and with the words that you speak and your presence of who you are and who you are always becoming, and having new understandings, especially like for myself. I'm able to truly step out and away from the whole entire world and to observe and grow with her, which I did not expect to happen or even thought that that was even a thing. And I don't know how else to explain that, but that's how it is.
Right. Well, and I feel like once you create this security, this comfortability, and this confidence within yourself, you realize that nothing outside of you can dismantle you.
No.
Yeah, nothing outside of you can dismantle what you've created to be strong enough within yourself.
Which I think is so beautiful.
This kind of goes back to beliefs, like beliefs and values as changeable choices, but also like knowing that it does take time. I have been practicing the belief of knowing that I am worthy no matter what for a while, like for all of 2020 probably. And I can truly tell you that now I know that to be true.
Yeah.
And I didn't always. But like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was interrupting. Go ahead.
I think I was gonna say that like that is an example of me creating that security within myself. So now a lot of things can still make me feel insecure, but now I've created enough stability internally so that you can't make me doubt my worthiness, if that makes sense.
Which is so
Whereas
good.
Anything would have always made me question my worthiness before. So I think it goes to beliefs a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it definitely does. I had a very, if it were not for COVID, I would not be at the place where I'm at today.
Same.
If I did not have COVID, which gave me quarantine.
She didn't actually have COVID, guys.
No, sorry.
If you didn't have the experience.
If I didn't have the experience of the
COVID-19.
pandemic,
Yes.
which provided quarantining and time and space to myself for a few months, literally I would not be at the place where I'm at today. And
Girl,
utterly grateful.
can I ask
always.
you,
Yeah.
were you scared at first to have that much alone time with yourself? Had you ever had that much alone time? And like, you know, how lonely did you feel? Maybe you weren't scared of being by yourself, but was there a lot of loneliness at the beginning? Because you were kind of fresh out of a relationship too.
No, I actually didn't feel lonely. Sometimes I feel like lonely now, which is very funny because it's just the longing for
It is
a hug from someone else. But I'm like, fuck that, I can hug myself. No, at the beginning it was excitement to be by myself and explore who I was.
Oh, good.
That's
I'm
what
happy that you went into it excited.
Yeah, I was very excited for it because I had lived by myself, but I had never lived by myself in the place where I was just learning and just diving into just learning myself, because that's what I was committing to was, okay, well, let's work on this relationship together. I don't know how it's going to look. I have no idea, but let me get to know you because I have no idea who you are. So, yeah, it was fun.
Beautiful.
So, Kat,
Yeah.
how would you commit to you? Or how would you commit to yourself in a relationship?
God, that's beautiful. So, I wasn't prepared for this question. I'll think about it in the terms of like how I'm gonna do it in like this coming year, like how I will commit to myself, especially as I'm, in a, steady and seemingly serious relationship with myself. I think I need to create more time for myself. So I need to take myself on dates, especially because I am in like a committed long-term relationship. So I do need to like make space for this other relationship that I have. And know that it is more important in the way that like if my cup's not full, I can't like be giving that to my partner.
Girl.
Yeah.
The cup.
the cup. And so spending time with myself, but being honest with myself and really like going to those deep, dark places of like, wow, my ego's really trying to make sure I'm protected right now. And just saying like, hey, I think you're actually just disappointed, or hey, I think you're actually just really hurt right now. And like, that's okay for you to feel that.
Of
And
course
so,
it's okay.
If we're going back to love languages, I need some quality time with myself, and I think I need some more words of affirmation with myself.
I think that would be very good. And taking that time to fill up your cup, because if you're pouring stuff out of your cup and you don't have anything in there, you're wiped. You got nothing.
Yeah.
You got nothing. But that's okay.
Yeah. And it's almost like it's like how you would commit to any relationship, like what you would be putting into any relationship, but you're putting it into the relationship that you need.
Yes.
Specifically. I'm so happy we did this after love languages too, because once you know your love language, how can you give that to yourself more?
Exactly. How can you speak?
Beautiful.
I know, it's so lovely.
All right, so let's ask you the same question. How would you commit to yourself?
And just like you said, it's understanding any relationship to start. Any relationship you're going to have is going to take work, time, and effort. Work, time, effort. Work, time, effort. And putting in the work, time, and effort to grow and understand with that other human, or even especially with yourself. It doesn't matter whatever relationship it is. It's going to take those moments that you need to take to get to whatever you're looking for.
Yeah.
Obviously having a conversation with yourself every day, even if it's just on the way to work or sitting on the couch or waiting in line at the grocery store, just having that simple conversation of how are you doing?
Oh my God.
Have you ever asked yourself, how are you doing?
I don't know what that sounds like to the listeners, but to me, I'm like, that sounds like the sweetest thing in the goddamn world.
It's just so simple. I mean, like,
just take a minute. Like, hey, babe, how are you doing? How are you doing?
And then having a conversation with yourself is not crazy.
Meow.
It's you taking care of you. And like in the beginning, obviously it was, I'm getting to know Kyla and I'm looking forward to understanding and connecting with you. And thank you for the opportunity to get to know who you are, because I'm looking forward to every moment with you. Yeah, it was lovely. So for you, ma'am, was there any difficulty starting the relationship with yourself that you have now?
Yes. It was really difficult in the beginning because, one, I didn't have any of this verbiage. I didn't know what being with yourself was, marrying yourself, and I didn't like myself at all. So of course it was really difficult. My very first experience with something like this. So my fear has always been my fear of unworthiness, but it's really looked like a fear of rejection, and I shut down with rejection. So about 5 years ago, I was in a relationship, and all of a sudden my partner didn't really know if he wanted to be with me anymore. And he's like, I don't really know if I like you like anymore. Like, and I just don't know. And I died. I literally died. I don't think you could have crumbled me down to like nothingness more than I was like just fucking shattered in that moment. And I took a full week of just being like, I could die. I could literally die. I am nothing right now. And I feel like I am worth nothing. And then just in a split moment, like I remember it so clearly, I was driving to his house because I had to get something from him. We hadn't officially broken up, but I was like shaking, like anxious. It was miserable. And I just had this moment where I was like, fuck this. Fuck this. You don't ever need to let anyone make you feel this way ever again. And it was, you know, probably a little bit of my higher self being like, hey, baby girl, you don't need to let someone make you feel this way. And a lot of my ego coming to my aid to be like, we don't fucking let anyone ever do this to us ever again. And that's when the emotions of that shut down. And I learned this pattern, this dichotomy, if you will, of this dynamic of I shut down before someone makes me feel rejected.
But why?
To protect myself, and really just to protect myself from that fear of rejection. When it happened a more recent time, someone was like, I don't really know if I want to be with you. And of course, all of the same feelings came up, but my ego quickly came to my aid and was like, fuck this for fucking ever. Fuck it all. However, my hurt feels were still there. Like, I hurt so bad. And I started realizing through the course of like a few weeks in this aftermath and this really scary time of like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know if I am rejected forever. I don't know what to do with all of this, where I created this space in all of this hurt and all of this need for like, in all of this need to be held, where I just started holding myself. And I have this really visceral memory of me coming home from the bars. So I'm a little bit drunk. I'm definitely sad. I've already sobbed that night. And I'm just crying to myself in the bathroom. And I'm singing this song to myself. And I just take a snap because I'm kind of drunk. But I'm singing along. And I'm like, why don't you find someone easy? Like, why don't you find someone fucking easy then? And then I'm like, I don't think you're too much, Kat. I like you just the way you are.
Oh.
And I've never talked to myself like that. And when I did, I just kind of cried to myself. But I'm looking back at the snap and I'm just like, I love her.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. I love her so much. I don't care what anybody else has to say about her. And I've never, ever held space for myself before that moment. I had never, ever had the realizations of my love is more than enough for me. And ever since, I've been in this relationship with myself where I'm just like, no one will ever love you as much as I love you. And I will never give love to someone else that I haven't given to you first. And damn, we are together. Like, damn, do I know she loves me, and damn, do I love her back, and damn, if this is a healthy ass relationship.
I love that.
Yes, and I'm sorry for a prolonged story, but
No,
I would
it's so
encourage
good.
anyone to remember the first moment where they gave themselves the space that they had never given themselves before, and given themselves the word of affirmation, the physical touch, the
Quality time.
yes, and acts of service that you were giving to other people but forgot to give to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the most important moments of your life.
I love it. Thank you.
All right, that's it.
Oh my
That's
God.
the end.
Oh my goodness. What was the question?
The question was, what was the difficulties in the beginning? And my difficulties were just that I didn't know what it was.
Yep.
And I didn't like myself very much.
Meow.
And I was expecting to get something from other people that I wasn't even giving to myself.
That makes sense.
That's the concise.
You did it.
That's the concise story.
So for me, the difficulty, it was towards the end of Montana and I's relationship. And I desperately needed to find me whatever that meant. I literally felt lost. I felt like I was doing the same thing every single day, which I was. Willingly, I was. And he told me, he's like, Kyla, he's like, there's this TED Talk that I found. He's like, you should, he's like, just YouTube marry yourself. He's like, just go marry yourself. I was like, okay, whatever that meant. So I remember sitting outside in my car waiting for it to warm up because it was a cold wintry time. And I go on YouTube and I search marry yourself, and I kind of like looked through some of the videos, and there was a TED Talk from Tracy McMillan. She is one of the writers for the NBC Nightly News and Mad Men. So she's fancy.
Cool.
She's a fancy meow. Her story is insane.
I'll look her up.
So in 2011, she wrote "Why You're Not Married Yet" on the Huffington Post, and this is going to be very simple and short, but I highly suggest watching it because, like, holy shit, I was watching this and things like started turning my brain. I was like, damn, I'm going to do something different. And so she went on explaining that she had been married 3 times, but never married herself. And so she started inventing relationships and the idea of marrying yourself. And she had said, you enter into a relationship with yourself, and then you can put a ring on it. You commit to yourself fully, and nothing can stop you because you are full with you. And at first, it felt strange. It felt uncomfortable because it was something completely new and something I had never done before. But damn, was I really able to look at myself in the face, and I had given myself the opportunity to be with myself, to be with her, and love myself exactly who I am right now. Yeah. No matter where the relationship takes or wherever it goes, I love her in the place that she is right now, accepting where she is and saying, okay, let me get to know you.
Yeah.
Why are you here? Let me ask you the questions because I'm so curious on who you are. And
Right.
I don't really love you right now, but I like you. I like who you are.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good place to start.
Yeah, and that's where I started. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't know when we might get married. Maybe. I'm like, I want to be your friend first.
Yeah.
I want to be your friend, and I want to get to know you because I do like you, and I like your presence, and I want to get to know you. Yeah.
And it really starts to teach you what that unconditional love looks like and what it's like to love someone unconditionally. Because when you can give that to yourself, you can actually start giving it to others. But if you hold judgments over yourself, you're gonna hold judgments of other people. The relationship you have with yourself is going to translate to how you treat others as well.
Absolutely.
And I love that we're talking about this before Valentine's Day because it doesn't matter where you are.
Screw Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Valentine's Day forever. But everybody has either this subconscious understanding or this very conscious understanding where, fuck, I'm alone on Valentine's Day. Or
that doesn't mean
fuck
anything.
It doesn't mean anything, but everybody does this. Come on, every single person does this.
Most people do that.
Yes.
Not everybody does. Not everybody cares.
Well, most people, I would like to think the people who don't do it have worked through this bullshit.
But they don't.
Yes. But, so, sorry, what I was going to say is now that you can look at yourself and say, all right, wherever I'm at in my life right now is a perfect time to commit to me.
Of course.
Wherever I'm at in my life right now is a perfect time to put me first. Wherever I'm at in my life right now, it's a perfect time to fall in love with who I am.
Of course.
And it doesn't matter if you just got out of a relationship. It doesn't matter if you've been single for a while. It doesn't matter if you just got married. It doesn't matter if you're in a long-term relationship. Wherever you're at, what a great time to fall in love with you,
and just
or
take
at least
your
get to know
time.
yourself.
Of course.
You're a good meow.
You are a good meow. So are you, cat.
Oh, so are you,
You're
Kat.
very good. No.
It's one of the best relationship pieces of advice I could have learned, that the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself.
Of course it is. It makes sense to my brain. If it doesn't make sense to you, that's fine.
Yeah.
Wherever you're at, but just being with yourself and just be your own friend.
Yeah,
you don't have to
let's
be in a
start with that.
relationship. Just be with your friend. Be your own friend.
Something that we slightly touched on, but I don't think we've expressed in utter detail is this is awkward at first.
Of course it is.
This
like
is really,
I said, it was very strange and weird, and I didn't even know how to talk to myself. It's like it felt weird to talk to yourself in that manner of, oh, you're my friend, or oh, I'm dating you, or, well, by the time you're dating, marriage, it makes sense. But
and however awkward it is for girls, I wonder how awkward it is for guys.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe totally not. And it doesn't mean that you have to be in this hyper intimate space with yourself where you're like, oh, I literally hold myself. I kiss myself.
I mean, you can, but
you totally can. And maybe it kind of looks different for everyone, but
of course it does, because everyone expresses and shows love and receives love differently.
But for anyone who is struggling with things like loneliness, rejection, feeling unseen or feeling unheard, have you seen yourself? Have you heard yourself? Have you created space for yourself to be who you are and express what you need within the intimate and loving presence of yourself?
Who would have knew?
Maybe do that.
You can do it if you want.
If you want.
There's tools. You can click whatever floats your boat.
So I recommend, a marriage with yourself is a beautiful thing.
It is beautiful. But yeah.
That's so good. I would, and please, if you feel comfortable sharing, I would love to know, meow meows, where your relationship is with yourself. What stage of your relationship
are you
in?
DMing? Are you taking yourself on dates? Or are you
is yourself trying to DM you, and are you leaving them on red?
Ooh. Are you leaving them on red?
Are you? Yeah, because I promise yourself is so down to clown.
I did that for a while. I get it.
Myself has been waiting for me for
my life.
Damn. I've been rejecting her for a long time.
It puts it into perspective.
It really does. So yeah, feel free to share. We would love to know.
Yes. All right, to meows, go and eat a box of chocolate, I guess.
Yeah,
or not, or take yourself out on a date. Literally go on a date with yourself.
Yeah, honestly, no matter what you do this week, I don't care if you have a partner or if you don't, take yourself on a date this week.
Even if it's going to watch a movie or going to literally go out to dinner with yourself.
Maybe it's just cooking dinner with yourself. Maybe it's literally just a night in front of the TV. Mm-hmm. Have a fucking date with yourself.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Please, if you want.
And please, if you want. It's always like, do it, but
it's
like
always
only
if
you want.
All right, well, have a wonderful rest of your week, meows.
Meow. Bye-bye. Alrighty, you lovely meows. We love you deeply, and we thank you dearly for joining us in our journey today.
Subscribe to the 6AM Meow Meows to get notifications for future episodes. If you wish for more meows in your life, you can connect with us on Instagram for questions to ask yourself, writing prompts, as well as tips and tricks related to today's episode. And, of course, cats.
If you're more of a visual person, find us on YouTube for the video version of these podcasts. Or you can join the conversation on Facebook. Share what you think, what you learned, or something you would like to add to our discussions.
To get in touch with us, or if you have any questions, email us at the 6am meows at gmail.com.
And all of these links will be listed below, so just scroll on down to get connected.
As always, we are learning through this journey, so your comments and perspectives are a fundamental part in helping us gain understanding and shifting our current realities.
Again, thank you for your time, and have a perfect rest of your day. Goodbye, beautiful meow meows.
Goodbye!